This week on Dumb Pitches, my guest is Chris Mejia, and boy, do we get into it. There's a surrogacy program for going on dates that you don't want to go. Also, a delivery service for when you shit your pants. It's very fun. It's a great episode. Here we go. Dumb Pitches.
What a bunch of dumb pitches. Oh my goodness.
Welcome to another episode of Dumb Pitches with Monica Nevi. I'm Monica Nevi, your host. This is what my voice sounds like. It's great. This is the show where we talk to successful people about their worst ideas, and I fuck it up sometimes. I'm very excited for our guest today. You know him, you love him. It's Chris Mejia. Yay.
Hey, what's good? Thank you for having me. It's me.
That
I'm
was
an awkward
amazing.
person. I'm sorry.
Wow, that was. I like before he was like, I'm a really good guest, so and then that's what you started with.
I always every time I recently I did a show, and then afterwards this person came up to me and was like, "Oh my God, you're so funny. You must be like I know this sounds fake, but for real, like they were like, you must be so fun to hang out in the day to day." And then obviously I was an awkward person because I do comedy, and I feel like out of everyone who does comedy, there's maybe like 3 people who know how to function as human beings outside in society, while the rest of us are like Josh Johnson has a joke about it where he's like, the only reason why comedy works is because I do the talking and you can't do
You can't
any
talk back,
talking
yeah.
back.
So
Like, I don't know how I've gotten this far in life, how awkward I am.
That is true about stand-up, where it's like, this is planned. Like, I need to know that you're not gonna screw it up for me, right? Because then when they do, you're like, oh, I have to pay attention and react to you. That's not fun. Okay. All right. Welcome. Thank you for being here. We like to start the show with your good ideas so that everyone knows you haven't only had bad ideas. So, Chris Mejia, hilarious stand-up comedian, very funny. He's open for people like Chris Redd and Dulce Sloan. He's going to interrupt me. What?
I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but that's just such a passive-aggressive way to say, hey, here are your credits.
It is. Well, I feel like if we never mentioned them, then afterwards people would be like, that guy's an idiot. Like, why is he... Where was the successful part of that? You know what I mean? Like, not that I don't know what your bad ideas are yet, because some of them were like, that might not be the worst idea. But okay, you've done Bumbershoot, which is a huge festival here in Seattle. You're a semifinalist in the Seattle International Comedy Competition. You have over 100,000 followers on TikTok, which is cool. And you have to be very creative. I like your videos. It's not just stand-up, you guys. There's lots of fun stuff on there. If you want to follow
me talking to the camera about when I was single, talking about dating apps, people ate that shit up.
He's really figured it out. You also produce a great show called Good Comedy here in
that
Seattle.
Our very own Monica Nevi has closed out before and did a stellar job.
Oh, thank you very much. And you have a podcast called We Didn't Get a Rose, which is about The Bachelor and Bachelorette and the whole Bachelor Nation, which I've also been on, and it was very fun.
Yes. And I'm so sorry, because when we had it was the first time we had guests, and we didn't know we were going to take up 2 hours of your time.
It was a lot of time. It was pushing 3. It was crazy. But I had a good time. And I've almost asked you for it, because you were like, we're recording this. And I had such a good joke at one point that I almost was like, hey, can you take a clip of that and send it to me? But it was such a long podcast, and I was like, you'd have to go through and figure out where it was.
No, don't make me do the work.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, there was a joke I said in there. You go find it and clip it for me.
Yeah. No, please don't send me that whole file. No. Okay. All right. So when I sent you the rundown, the criteria for the dumb pitches, questionable ideas. What did you come up with first?
Yeah. So my first pitch that I wanted to suggest, I'm currently in a relationship with a colonizer. Is a white woman, and white people really love it when they think it's fun as a date to make you do white people shit, like hiking and camping,
Okay.
and going apple picking and pumpkin picking,
A lot of outdoor
which
stuff. Yeah.
a lot of outdoor stuff. And it's just like, I don't want to be outdoors. I told you that from the beginning. And like, in my personal opinion, dates like pumpkin picking and apple picking are fucking stupid. That's just outdoor grocery shopping. I don't understand why that's considered a romantic outing. So my pitch is, what if it's like a surrogate agency who you send people to do these white people shit for you?
Okay, so you're like a TaskRabbit type of thing, where
Yeah.
you send somebody to go on this date you don't want to go on, but you wouldn't like break up with them. Obviously, they would just kind of take your place so that your white girlfriend could still pick some apples with somebody.
Right.
What
Like,
would they have to
it's,
do? Just be there physically, or would they have to like,
it would be the same
like
way
you?
of like for example, there's a rumor that LeBron has a body double playing games for him,
How would
because
you
there was
find
like
that
footage
person?
of him just chilling courtside eating like snacks while LeBron was playing in the game. So something like that, where like someone's filling in and doing your job, like it's like a real life version of, like, I remember growing up, I always wish I had, there was like a Disney Channel original movie about a kid who had a clone. So he sent his clone to go to school
Yes.
while he like did his
Ooh,
own shit.
I remember
So it'll
that.
basically be like that, like a surrogate who kind of looks like me goes on coach up with my girlfriend while I'm chilling at the crib watching Squid Games. Like that's how it works.
Okay, and so it kind of looks like, so does the other person not know? Like, are you like parent trapping the situation, or are you like, oh, you want to do some outdoorsy shit? I'm gonna call the surrogate in.
I feel like for moral purposes, the person should know that this is a surrogate.
Right.
Like, I feel like that's there's a little ethical kind of gray line there if they did it.
Mm-hmm.
It would be kind of like a situation of like an activity version of cuckolding, where it's like, hey, no, you go do it. You have fun with my partner while I watch, or I just hear about it.
Right, or later she's like,
day.
he was so much better at picking apples than you, like that.
And be like, yeah, damn right, damn right he is, baby. He's gonna do it all the time for you.
I feel like that might, like, some people might be aroused by that, of like, I didn't have to go pick apples and now she's with another man. I don't know. I guess maybe you could make it whatever the rules you wanted, I suppose, with the surrogate themselves, because obviously you'd be like, hey, go on this date, I'll pay you, but also don't fuck my girlfriend, you know. I mean, unless that's like part of the deal.
Say, hey, I got two rules. Don't fuck my girlfriend, and don't hurt my girlfriend. Just that's it.
Doesn't that seem pretty simple? And then he'd be like, well, technically, if it happens in the apple orchard, it's part of my deal.
If it happens while on the clock, it's a part of the job responsibility.
I mean, that is, because like, didn't TaskRabbit have things like you could just have someone wait in line for you and stuff?
Yeah.
Like, that feels like people would. I wonder if anybody's ever, because there's all these movies about like, oh, I pretended, like I had someone come over and pretend to be my girlfriend for Christmas or whatever. I'm sure you can pay somebody to do that, right?
Oh yeah. Well, first of all, we've been through 2 recessions in a matter of a decade.
Yeah.
And all quarantine has proved that no matter your gender, your sexual orientation, your gender identity, we are all horny fucks who are lonely. So like I feel like there's some people will be like, oh, I'm not doing this for the pay. I just want to
You're just
spend
like,
time with someone.
look, I like white people dates. I'll go out there and pick whatever vegetable of the day, fruit or vegetable of the day. I don't know. It's a lot of extreme sports, I feel like. And you can't surprise someone with extreme sports. I was watching a movie when he like invited this girl on a hike for a date, right? They like do the hike and she's like, oh, that wasn't too bad. And he's like, oh, that's just the beginning. And then they go like fucking bobsledding or something. And I was like, that's a high speed, intense sport. You can't fucking just surprise somebody with that. Like, then she has like full panic attack.
I saw back when I was single, I saw this girl, she on her Hinge profile, she was like, I'll know I have found the one if they want to go on a backpacking trip after only knowing each other for a couple of weeks. And
The one who's going to kill you? Is that?
that's what I thought of like I have always like the Pacific Northwest. I'm sure this exists in other areas of all genders, but like what I've noticed in Pacific Northwest, trying to date the Pacific Northwest was like matching with a girl and being like, oh hey, like let's go out. How about I pick you up at your place? Like trying to be like the gentleman move of like, oh, let me give you a ride, and be like, hey, like I don't want to tell you my address. I don't know you like that. You might be a killer, and it's like fair. You know, I'm aware of the world that we live in. I understand. I gotta prove to you that I am a safe person, and obviously, me looking like a Nickelodeon actor is not doing that enough. But then they'll be like, oh, hey, what if like next day, even though we only went out once, well, how about we go on a hike? And it's like, you're contradicting all of your safety guidelines.
And you're like, I don't feel comfortable because it's so much easier for me to kill you out there. It's just, I mean, first of all, it's where they're hiding the bodies anyways. Second of all, there's so much stuff to fall out. Oh, she fell. Sure she did.
That's why I've never understood why people, when they barely know each other, go out on hikes as a date. Like if you've been dating for a minute, you obviously know like, okay, this is my person, whatever. But when you barely know each other, like let's go out to the woods where there's terrible cell phone reception and like where there's not and a lot of people here who go hiking don't like to go on hikes where there's a lot of people, so that means even less witnesses.
Even less, right. Well, then also the other problem I have with a hiking date, when you first start dating, you don't know that person's athletic abilities or if they have ever, my fiance had never been on a hike ever.
Really?
Yeah, well, she's from the desert. But so we went, and then it's like, it's a different thing. I mean, she did fine, but you got to know if you're going to choose a hike, you know, it's not super fun for the other person if they start having an asthma attack while you're hiking or whatever, you know.
Last month my girlfriend and I, we went to Leavenworth to do like a little romantic getaway, and since we were going to be in that area, she was like, oh, let's do Kolchak. That's my favorite hike. I love it so much that I have it tattooed on my body. And I was like, first of all, we have different definitions of fun. I don't want to go on a hike. I was like, what are the details of the hike? And she like told me it's like a lot of elevation and it's really hard. And I was like, fuck no, we're not doing this.
What's your favorite? Get out of here.
And finally she was like, but it's my favorite hike. And I was like, okay, you know what? Because I will do this hike because it is your favorite hike. And as much as I hate doing shit like this, you're important to me, and what's important to you is important to me, so I'm gonna do it. But I'm gonna let you know, I'm a bitch the whole time. I'm gonna complain the whole time, and you can't tell me to stop. I'm allowed to bitch and moan the whole hike. And she's like, you're not gonna bitch and moan. And then little did she know how like my endurance of bitching and moaning, like there's no, I don't get tired of it. I can go all
tired of this
night.
hike, but not complaining about it.
Yeah, I got tired on the hike pretty quickly, but I did not get tired of letting her know that I was not having a good time.
Okay, so you could hire a surrogate. Maybe they specialize in whatever. Like this is the hiking guy, and this is, I mean, I guess if he's gonna look like you, then that would be different. Maybe, I don't know, but okay, so maybe then he would not complain the whole time. Do you have a name for this? stand-in program app.
Oh, see, I didn't even I didn't any all of these ideas. I didn't think
This
of
is
names.
always fun because then we can ask the audience if they have suggestions to what you would call this.
I feel like take my place.
Ooh, take my
That could be the name of just like
That definitely sounds like a cuckolding app, but yes, that's take my place.
Listen, all roads lead the cuckolding.
That's true. But I mean, this actually, which might be good for some people because you know how they need to be like kind of eased into things, and maybe that's what they're really into, but they're afraid to tell their partner. Then they can start with this.
So 2 or 3 years ago, I did a show. I did Safe Word, which is like a kink focused show, and they post a lot to advertise that show. They post it like on online kink communities and stuff like that, and it was at like a kink club too. Afterwards, when I was done, this couple came up to me and they're like, "Hey, you were really funny," and I'm just like, "Oh my god, like thank you, I love compliments." And like I'm like, "Thanks for coming to the show," and I thought that was just it. I just thought that was going to be the conversation, and they kept wanting to talk to me, and I was just like, "Oh yeah, you know, like this and that," and they're asking me like, "Where do I live? Do I, you know, am I Seattle based?" And then they were like, "Oh, what are your plans after this? Like, are you doing anything or anything like that?" And as they're talking to me, they're getting like closer and closer. It was like a man and a woman. They're getting kind of like closer to me. And I'm a personal space person. I'm also someone who, when I don't know people, I get very nervous about being physically close to them because then I don't want them to think that I'm trying to like be creepy and all that.
Right.
So they keep getting closer and I'm backing up because I'm like, oh, oops. So, like I'm apologizing.
Right. You're like, I'm sorry
them.
You're getting too close to me.
I'm sorry I stood still while you
while you
violated my personal bubble. But anyway, after I left, I realized like, oh, I'm just assuming based off the amount of questions they were asking me, and they even like kind of complimented me too, like how I looked that day. I was like, oh, they wanted the fuck.
Yeah.
And I could have experienced a cuckolding moment.
That's true.
It sounds fun to be the third party in that situation.
That's true. Well, I guess it depends on what they're into. There's a lot of shit talking sometimes, right? That's just all I've never been involved. I just, not that if you have, I've had a friend who, similar to a comedian who ended up with a couple afterwards, and the guy watched, but then she was like talking shit to the husband, I think, the whole time. And so the comic was very much like, hey, like you invited me here. Are you mad? Like, you know.
See, I think that would definitely, it would be hard to focus when it's just like trying to have sex with someone and then the whole time they're just like, yo, my husband's a fucking, look at him, just that nerdy ass little bitch.
It's like, do you want to stop and talk about this? Because I'm distracted.
This just feels like a therapy session that I like walked in on. Right. Like that's just like what is happening here? I also wonder like if you wanted to be the third person in a cuckolding session, does that just mean that you love attention too much? I
don't.
Like stage time is stage time.
That's true. Right after a show, you're just like, yeah, I still have it in me. I mean, what you said about being awkward, like I have to save up my energy all day to be able to talk that long, like on stage. Like I just am not a very loud person. I don't know. So then some comics are like, let's go do karaoke after that. I'm like, who the fuck? I'm going to go to sleep. Like, why are you? So then to have to perform for people you've never been with before. Not saying you shouldn't have sex with, I don't know, your partner after a show. But if you're like, yeah, sure, let's put more pressure on me while everyone's yelling at each other. Like, what is this?
So everyone thinks that the worst sex that has ever been had is by like when you like find some frat bro and he just gives you like 3 pumps and then like just, you know, he comes and then he's just like, hey, you know the way out. No, the worst sex you can ever have is with a comic who bombed and
it just starts crying.
And it's just giving you dick that was equivalent to that set.
It's like, I'm still in that headspace. I don't know what to tell you.
So tonight in both forms, I did not know how to finish strong. A solid middle. I picked up some rhythm in the middle of my set, but did not end strong.
It's true. And she's just like, "Did you get the light yet? Like, what is happening? This is."
Actually, okay. Sidebar. Here's a new dumb pitch.
Okay.
A sex light, like a light that lets someone know, like, hey, like, cause we've all been there where it's just like, yo, I'm trying to fuck, but I got like 6 minutes max. So like, I think like a light that lets you know, like, hey, just let you know, like, we're gonna have to bring up the next comic or something.
That's I like that because it's not. Sometimes you are in the mood to be like, let's just fuck all day, and that's great. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes you're like, I'm tired, but I would like to. So if we can wrap this up within 10 minutes for both of us, that would be great.
Like, hey, I'm gonna need you to wrap this up because the new episode Succession becomes available on streaming in 5 minutes.
It's a weekday, so this is a showcase. It's shorter sets.
Like when they film those like porns where it's a bunch of people fucking one person, do you think they have a piece of paper like
a list, like a lineup? They would
Steve, Roger, Dave.
They would need a light for that for sure. They'd be like, "Hey, next guy's got to go." This is a dirty
I love how
one.
I asked you beforehand, hey, it's okay if I talk about poop?
Yeah, and then you're like, no, that's going too far. Let's just talk about sex and porn for the whole time. Okay. All right. I like the surrogacy idea. I almost more like the light, the sex light, but okay.
Listen, I'm just here to provide a better place for the people.
That's true. Yes, it's all about love. Love is in mind. Trying to keep strengthening relationships is what both of those ideas would do, and keep you safe from white dates.
Some would say that I am a love doctor. What are the letters of doctors? MDS? Is that MDD? No. PH? No. MDS. MDS. Yeah, I'm an MDS.
I was like, I don't know what you're. Okay. All right. Okay. We have time for one more idea?
One more.
If you want to do.
Okay, I'm not gonna do the poop one. I'm sorry.
I feel like everyone's a little disappointed now that you brought it up, but.
I'll say the overall idea of the two that I have, and then you just let me know which one you want to go.
Okay. All right.
One is a delivery service that brings you clean underwear when you poop your pants. And then the other one is a service that delivers bad news to people, but because auto-tune, everything sounds good in auto-tune, the service delivers the bad news in auto-tune.
I mean, honestly, I don't know if I can choose between those two. And maybe that could be the same company, honestly, but let's go with the poop one, just because I feel like you already brought it up, and now we're on the path of the dirtiest episode we've had, so that's fine.
Yeah, that's right, baby.
Everyone knows
that's what you come to me for.
Chris Mejia is the dirty comic, not really.
Yeah, okay. The comic who's wearing a SpongeBob hoodie. Never would have thought.
Yeah, no. In fact, when you first started to explain the first idea with the date surrogate, and you were like, you know how white people like to go, I thought that was going to be the poop one. Like, you're out doing a white person date thing, and you have to shit. Like, I don't know. But this could happen. Maybe this one.
Y'all be wanting to be doing white people shit in places that don't have accessible bathrooms.
That is true. That's just go outside. No.
So this service basically, as someone who has, it happens to everyone, as someone who has pooped their pants several times as an adult, which I first of all, before you judge, life comes at you fast, okay?
Comes out of you fast.
Everyone is like, why don't you have your life together? And it's just like, I have my life together. I pay taxes, I vote, I recycle. I just poop my pants.
It just doesn't help my digestive tract, apparently.
So it happens to everyone, okay? If it hasn't happened to you. Have you pooped your pants before?
Yeah, once in college. And I've told this
That's what's
story.
up.
I've told the story before, but I was walking to class and didn't think that's what it was, you know. But then very quickly realized that is what had happened. And normally I would have just turned around and went back and skipped class. But I was to the point where I couldn't miss any more of these classes without, I to graduate. And so I just had to, and mind you, I played basketball in college, so we wore sweats most of the time. So I had underwear, spandex, basketball shorts, and then sweatpants on. And so I just took the underwear and the spandex off and threw them away, and then just went to class.
I like how your sweatpants were like the last wall of Helm's Deep, like it just held on.
I was like, and then I remember sitting down next to my friend, and because I was a little late, and he was like, "Everything okay?" And I was like, "I can't tell you. Maybe in like 5 years, I'll tell you what just happened."
I had the same thing happen. I was on my way to class and I was walking up the steps and I shit my pants. And it was the day of like, we were doing a study guide for the final. And I was just like, I guess I'm just going to fail this test.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You're like, there's only so many things I can do right now. And I bet if I had emailed that professor and was like, hey, I know I've missed a few classes, but I shit my pants on the way to class today, and that's why I didn't show up. She'd probably be like, okay, that's fine.
I lied and I said I had a family emergency. I emailed my professor. I was like, I couldn't make it because family emergency. And they're like, what happened? And I think I said like someone went to the hospital.
That's just funny. So they'd be like, what happened? You're like, they found out I shit my pants, and now it's an emergency for everybody.
Yeah, mom had a heart attack. But then this is where the service comes in. Because you'll be out in public, you shit your pants, and you got things to do. You got to go to this class, right. Or if you're like me, you know, you got to go to class. You're on a first date. It's 5 minutes before you're supposed to host at a comedy club. Like just regular times that you might poop yourself. This service comes in and they give you, so you basically, it's like DoorDash where you type in your underwear size. And if you're a boxer briefs, or like I don't know in the women underwear,
right? Bikini cut, French, whatever thong. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever y'all's armor types are. Our armor types are boxer briefs, and boxers. And it just depends on what kind of mobility you want. You know.
That's true. Yeah.
And then obviously as they provide like wipes, I'm a firm advocate for poop wipes. If you're not using poop wipes, stop treating your asshole like that. It deserves more. What is wrong with you? I had a friend of mine in college who always made fun of me for using baby wipes, and then he used baby wipes, and he like years later he texted me. He's like, hey man, I owe you an apology. I use baby wipes, and you were right. I was wrong.
It is like, it's far more popular now than it ever was, and I think that's why, because people are like, well, baby wipes. And you're like, no. It's a butt wipe. Whatever butt it's being used for, it's fine.
Yeah. It needed it's funny how just once we dropped the word baby, people are like, yeah, I'm going to start using
flushable wipes or dude wipes or whatever, and you're like, it's...
Dude. Sorry, no, I was interrupting you.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't say anything. I was just disappointed that that's what it takes. It's like they made it manly.
Dude wipes is so funny to me because that just means there's guys who are just like fucking wipes, putting your hand on a piece of paper on your asshole. That's gay, bro. Oh, what? They're dude wipes? That's the most manly shit.
Right. It's like no homo wipes. Do you want to use these now? That's fine.
It's just wipes. Dude wipes are gonna release a new wipe where every time you wipe, it's just a quote from The Rock or Vin Diesel. Just wiping your ass. So then, yeah, they give you underwear, they give you a wipe, and you know what? Actually, that inspires an idea. The wipe has a little speaker in it, like a mini speaker. Somehow we have the technology where it says positive affirmations while you're cleaning yourself up.
That is what you need at that point, yeah.
You feel low about yourself when you poop your pants. Like no one's like, haha, I showed myself. Like everyone always feels bad. So the positive affirmations kind of get you back in of feeling like, yo, you know what? This is just a hurdle.
Yeah.
You can get over hurdles. This isn't a wall. I can get over this.
You can kick them down if you need to. That okay. Okay, is there like a discreet way? Because let's say you are, I don't know, getting ready to host a show or something. You know, there's a lot of people around, and you get a delivery that's like, here's your underwear. Are they gonna like put it in a pizza box or something so they think it's food, or like?
So actually, to ensure discreetness that no one's, because like if you pizza box, people love pizza, so they're like,
That's
oh,
true.
you
They'd be
got
like, oh,
pizza,
what'd you get?
open
And
up,
you're
and it's
like,
just like, oh no, there's
butt
just a pair of Hanes that
and are
is.
giving you affirmations.
Oh, actually, so there's a couple things you could do. Is one, you could. I actually kind of like the idea of like, you know, when this is dark, when people in the military, you know, lose their lives, and then someone shows up with like a flag to be like this, you know, this was
Oh,
like just someone being like, your Hanes will be resting in peace.
they're going to a better place. Do you? Yeah, I guess you could just throw them away. But I was like, do you exchange? Like, here you go. You take these ones, and I take these ones.
Yeah,
Gloves.
no, it will be weird if they collected the poop
That's true.
underwear.
You get like recycled ones that have been refurbished.
Or I feel like it could just also be like it will be a box that's disguised to be something that people clearly would not want to investigate. So like
Okay.
a box that says like Mormon Bibles, or like a box that's just like Post Malone discography, where it's just shit where people are like, no, thank you.
I'm good.
You
Yeah,
can keep that closed.
I don't need to see what's in there. Okay, that's pretty good. That's great. That I think useful ideas though. You know, like either
Mhm.
way. And again, we said this many times on the show, but we are not scientists. Okay, we're just idea people. So you figure out how to get a little speaker into a butt wipe. That's not up to us.
I mean, I think as scientists, I know you're working on vaccines,
And I know you're
and all of
listening
that
to
kind of
this
stuff.
while you're doing it.
I feel like you should give up on that, because if humanity has showed us anything, is that we're a lot of dumb people aren't going to use your science.
Right. So you might as well use it for the dummies who are out there pooping their pants all over the place.
Exactly. Or if you want to make, like, maybe in the future when they develop teleportation, just this dude like teleports into the bathroom, or you know, a person teleports into the bathroom with you, and you give them the poop stuff, and then they teleport away. And they're like in those movies, like those mob movies where there's a fixer where they're like, I'll handle it. Just like in Pulp Fiction, when that dude shows up and he's just like, I'll take care of everything. I'm just gonna call Samuel L. Jackson the N-word for a little bit, and then I'm gonna leave. And it's gonna be like that. It's gonna be like that, where this dude shows up,
poops.
yeah, and he takes care of your poops, and then he leaves.
Oh my goodness, what a ridiculous episode. I have enjoyed it from top to bottom.
I wonder why I never get asked back on podcasts. I don't see the correlation.
I mean, I think they're gonna like this one. I think you're gonna get.
I hope so.
You're gonna get some good responses. We need some product company names. If you got them, go ahead and comment them. You can also comment what affirmations you would tell Chris after he pooped his pants and needs to get ready to host a show or whatever. Where can they find you, follow you, and check your stuff out, and come see you and all that stuff?
You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch at Topher Mejia, TOPHER MEJIA. I post about everything there. I post about the shows that I have. I post thirst traps. I'll make it worth your time. I post clips. Also through there, you can find access to my show, Good Comedy, that if you live in the Seattle area is an outdoor show, and we'll be announcing indoor shows shortly, because it's cold as a motherfucker outside, and it's not fun being cold. And then as well as I post about my podcast, We Didn't Get a Rose, and potentially reviving another podcast I used to do.
So much.
And also whenever I stream on Twitch, I post on my Instagram and stuff. So follow me there. That's a good hub to find out about all of the stuff I do.
There you go, Topher Mejia. And if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. Follow, like, rate, review, whatever you do if you're listening on one of the podcast apps, and tell your friends, you know. And right now you can just keep watching Dumb Pitches.
You're weird.
Yes.